Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications. Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, making a difference.
The year 2023 can be described as a year of positive turnaround for the Niger Delta Development Commission by a lot of Niger Deltans. After a long wait by stakeholders in the Niger Delta region, former President Muhammadu Buhari on the 4th of January inaugurated a new board for the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. On assumption of office, President Bola Tinubu constituted the Chiedu Abia-led NDDC governing board, in which Dr. Samuel Obuku was retained as Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Commission. The following documentary captures the major activities and achievements of the NDDC in the year 2023.
After 8 years of interim administrations, members of a new governing board of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, were inaugurated by former Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Mr. Umana Okon Umana, on the 4th of January 2023 on behalf of former President Muhammadu Buhari. The inauguration of a substantive NDDC board had been long anticipated by many anxious groups seeking an end to the appointment of successive interim management committees mandated to pilot the Commission's affairs over a long period of time. Needless to say, the demand for appointment and inauguration of a substantive board came with high expectations from diverse groups looking forward to the improvement of service delivery by the NDDC. Aware of the enormity of the task ahead, the new NDDC governing board hit the ground running as soon as it was inaugurated in January this year. Hours after the inauguration in Abuja, the board members flew into Port Harcourt for a maiden meeting with NDDC directors of the Commission's corporate headquarters, where they were met with a jubilant crowd of Niger Deltans. The board chairman, Loretta Onoche, and the MD, Dr. Samuel Obuku, both briefed the management and staff of the Commission and solicited their support to guarantee effective and efficient service delivery to the people of the Niger Delta.
We are here to reposition NDDC. We are here to serve the people of the Niger Delta and by extension the people of Nigeria.
For some of us who have been in the fore of the agitation for the development of the Niger Delta, I think having given this opportunity, much is also being expected. And for me, I see it as something that I have to take seriously. I can assure you that we are here with a message of hope. We are going to work together to ensure that we improve on this organization.
From the outset, the new NDDC governing board had considered it imperative to carry out its intervention in collaboration with the Commission's mandate states, as clearly spelled out in its Establishment Act. This informed courtesy visits to governors in the region who are members of the NDDC Advisory Committee as provided under Part 3 of the Act establishing the Commission. The governing board then organized a retreat in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital. The 3-day retreat tagged Making a Difference was organized for the board and management of the NDDC to build their capacity to bring about rapid and even development in the Niger Delta region. At the retreat, former Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Mr. Umana, who identified areas of interest for the new board, urged its members to justify the trust reposed in them.
I would also like to remind the board that the people of the Niger Delta and Nigerians at large expect them to make that qualitative difference that will result in a turnaround in the affairs of the region.
Arising from the Uyo retreat, the obviously invigorated management and board of the NDDC began to explore possible ways of impacting more positively on the lives of blighted communities in the Niger Delta region. To this end, the current NDDC board inaugurated a 12-member committee on public-private partnerships to seek alternative sources of generating funds to execute legacy projects intended to ensure speedy development of the Niger Delta region. Dr. Obuku, while inaugurating the committee chaired by Engineer Emmanuel Audu Owaborua, was optimistic that the partnership with the private sector and other local and international agencies would build public confidence in the Commission's activities and enable it achieve its mission and vision at a much faster pace.
You understand the present economic situation of the country, there is no money, and in line of that, we are sitting up to ensure that we explore other means of development. We don't only want to depend on the federal allocation of Nddc to develop the region. We are open to partnership. There are projects that we alone can probably not carry out.
In furtherance of its development agenda for the Niger Delta through collaborative efforts, the Nddc subsequently held a summit on public-private partnerships in Lagos, Nigeria's commercial hub. While addressing participants at the summit, Dr. Ogbuku observed that faced with inadequate funding, the Commission had to go into partnerships to raise substantial funds required to execute high-impact projects in a region where development had been stalled by crumbling infrastructure. Dr. Ogbuku informed his audience that public-private partnerships would also provide the Nddc with requisite technical expertise in project management.
By partnering with this sector, we can successfully leverage these resources to implement our programs and projects. Another stakeholder we cannot do without is the government at all levels. In other words, we are embarking on this journey of developing the Niger Delta with the full participation of all stakeholders.
The Lagos Summit was attended by top government functionaries, traditional rulers and captains of industry, all of whom lauded the public-private partnership approach to infrastructure development in the Niger Delta region. Former Minister of Niger Delta Affairs Mr. Umana and former Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency NIMASA, Dr. Dakuku Peterside, give a thumbs up to the Nddc board and management for their visionary leadership.
Nddc certainly would not have the capacity to do it alone. So they're inviting other partners, international agencies, players in the oil industry, the financial sector, to partner with the Nddc on the basis of a PPP.
Globally, development is becoming more inclusive, and it means that there must be a fusion between the private sector and the public sector for us to have the end point, which is sustainable development. On that note, I commend the current leadership of the Nddc.
At the Lagos Summit, the Nddc signed a memorandum of understanding worth over $15 billion with Atlanta Global Resources Incorporated, a US-based firm specializing in financing capital projects. The deal was struck to construct a mega rail line that would connect 9 states comprising the Niger Delta region.
Development, transformation, Niger Delta,
At its inception, the Nddc executed many impactful projects such as road construction, rural electrification and land reclamation in collaboration with state governments and the private sector. One of such high-impact projects is the AKUGHA Road in Bayelsa State. With the construction of the AKUGHA Road, scores of coastal communities in Bayelsa East Senatorial District that were hitherto isolated are now directly linked by road. In a bid to reenact the good old days at the Nddc, the Nddc board began to establish contact with prospective partners to key into its public-private partnerships. The Commission's Managing Director, Dr. Ogbuku, held a meeting with Okumbo Osage, Managing Director of SPDC and Chairman of Shell Companies in Nigeria. During the meeting in Port Harcourt, the Nddc boss noted that his commission was desirous of reviving partnerships that would attract rapid development of the Niger Delta region.
So in order to change this trend, to at least build a lasting legacy, we are looking at how do we partner? can we sit down together and think of a way forward? And we can agree on specific projects where we can construct landmark projects in the Niger Delta. We can try to do Warriors Canvas Road. We can do legacy projects. Where we can steady the ship of the NDDC.
In his remark, Mr. Osage lauded the vision of the new NDDC board, noting that it would drive rapid development and douse tension in the Niger Delta region for oil companies to operate with minimal risks.
Everybody wants the NDDC to succeed. Because once the NDDC succeeds, our business is in NDDC. The problem we would have is if we are moving in that direction, the NDDC is either moving towards moving in that direction, then our life just gets complicated. So there's a shared interest in making sure that we succeed.
Leveraging the PPP, the NLNG and the NDDC signed an MOU in October this year to empower communities and deliver sustainable development projects in the Niger Delta. MD and CEO of NLNG, Dr. Philip Mshebila, and MD of the NDDC, Dr. Sam Obuku, during the signing ceremony both expressed satisfaction at the opportunity to collaborate towards the development of the Niger Delta.
This is a groundbreaking moment for me and all of us in NDDC, which I believe MOU signing is like, the best that will come out of our relationship.
We're kindred spirits in terms of the vision that we have for the kind of development that needs to happen within the Niger Delta. And we believe that our two organizations can help to contribute in delivering that effectively.
In the same vein, Total Energies also sought a partnership with the NDDC for the provision of clean and renewable energy in the Niger Delta. To underscore its preference for clean and renewable energy, Dr. Obuku was at the recently concluded COP28, where he spoke at a side event on the theme Green Innovation for Climate Resilient Niger Delta. He hinted that the NDDC already concluded plans to train no fewer than 1,000 youths in the conversion of petrol-driven cars to run on compressed natural gas in 2024.
From early next year, NDDC want to invest heavily on the youths of the Niger Delta, about 1,000 youths to be trained on conversion from fuel to gas engine. We are also putting in place certain framework to ensure that whatever activities we are carrying out should be green energy compliant.
The NDDC, in line with its investment in renewable energy, has also installed solar-powered street lights in several communities in the Niger Delta as directed by Dr. Obuku.
Our target is to ensure that every community in the Niger Delta is powered by solar. And we are working seriously towards that.
Expectedly, the NDDC solar-powered streetlight projects has been receiving commendations from benefiting communities across the Niger Delta.
The NDDC having brought this project, it has boosted the morale of our people. Our people can do business at will, even at night now. They don't even know. It looks like daylight because everywhere is shining and everywhere is bright.
Because of the light now, if you come, looks like London. Everywhere is beautiful and shining.
The NDDC is also seeking partnership with Chevron Nigeria Limited in the construction of the Warri Escravos Road, a project that the Olu of Warri Ogiame Atuwashi III has also committed to assisting in securing partnerships towards its realization.
We will do all that we can to speak to the government of Delta State, to speak to the IOCs that operate in this kingdom, and even we are willing to put our own selves to show that we are seriously committed to this thing working.
In his several meetings with traditional rulers across the Niger Delta region, the workaholic NDDC boss had also conferred with the Amayanabo of Okochiri Kingdom, His Royal Highness King Ateke Tom, to brief him about plans to recommence work on the stalled Okrika Port Harcourt Road and Bridge construction projects. In 2013, the NDDC commenced work on the 3.9-kilometer long bridge designed to link Port Harcourt to Okrika from the Borokiri end of the Garden City. The bridge was designed as an alternative route to the ever-busy and chaotic Eleme-Onne axis, where most of the federal government's biggest investments are sited. While on an inspection visit to the project site, Dr. Ubuku hinted that the Port Harcourt-Okrika Road and Bridge construction project would be revived and redesigned to allow for easy passage of bigger vessels along the coastline.
We believe at the moment the project is stalled at the moment, as you can see, because there's nobody on site working, and we're also going to involve the contractor too to know why the project is stalled. If it is something that has to do with payments, we have to look at how to mobilize back to site.
Expectedly, the prospect of having this all-important project completed in no distant time is being greeted with positive reactions from its beneficiaries.
If they say they want to come tomorrow, we'll even do free labor for them. We'll go ahead and carry their things to this place because we really need this project.
They should help us to do this bridge for us. It will also facilitate not only we alone, for everybody, for the whole Port Harcourt and the River State at large.
In its quest to retool the NDDC, Dr. Ubuku-led management of the NDDC engaged the services of KPMG, an international business management consulting firm, to help restructure the Commission's corporate governance process for efficient service delivery. While signing the contractual agreements with KPMG in Port Harcourt, Dr. Ubuku noted that the move would open doors for international recognitions for the NDDC as an organization that implements global best practices in its operations.
We want to be internally regulated. We want to create standards. We want to strengthen the institution.
As an interventionist agency, the NDDC has the mandate to complement infrastructure development with human capacity building to bring about a balanced and sustainable development in Nigeria's Niger Delta region. The emphasis on human capacity building in the Niger Delta takes cognizance of the fact that most unemployed youths in the region are languishing in the labor market for lack of requisite skills. In time past, NDDC had rolled out several economic empowerment programs designed to provide youths with requisite skills and startup capital to become self-employed. However, previous efforts failed to achieve their desired goals as youth unemployment rates remained on the increase over the years. Rising to the occasion, the current NDDC management has introduced a data-driven youth employment scheme designed to train youths in diverse vocations and provide job placements for them in companies that have already indicated interest to go into public-private partnerships with the Commission in developing critical infrastructure across the Niger Delta region. At an interactive meeting with youth leaders representing various ethnic groups in the Niger Delta, Dr. Ubuku told them Project Hope was in the offing to raise a new crop of young entrepreneurs in the region. According to the NDDC helmsman, it was a more sustainable approach to economic empowerment designed by the current leadership of the Commission.
This program is going to be a program for the youths of the Niger Delta, young entrepreneurs, because we want to encourage entrepreneurship. And it is not just keep giving you handouts every day. That we just call you, sit down, we'll give you handout. The day you agitate, we'll call you again, we'll give you handout. We don't want that kind of relationship. We want the kind of relationship that when you're doing well, you can also invite us to come and commission your business.
Project Hope, an acronym for Holistic Opportunity Project Engagement, is aimed at promoting sustainable engagement and empowerment for youth of the Niger Delta through a comprehensive database system. Coordinator of the project, Mr. Blessing Fubara, says Project Hope, which is expected to generate at least 10,000 jobs at its initial stage, has so far registered 100,000 youths and trained 185 youths from 9 states of the region, who will serve as coalition officers and create awareness in rural communities to make impact of the program far-reaching for youths.
Our commitment is to see that we have the youth developed, empowered, and we have the region for the first of its kind developed in the real sense.
In the current dispensation, the NDDC agenda for human capacity building and economic empowerment also makes provision for women. Following an interactive meeting with Niger Delta women from 9 states, the NDDC announced a 50 billion women empowerment scheme for small businesses to be powered by a commercial bank.
The most important thing is how to enhance the performance of our women and our youths in the Niger Delta.
It's something we're passionate about. The bank has got a tested, long-standing proposition for women, which has worked. We decided to come and be a partner and to make this program work, because empowering our women is empowering the nation.
Food security also received the attention of NDDC under the year in review. The commission launched an aquaculture training center in Umuahia, Abia State, where Niger Delta youths and women will be trained in fish farming and aquaculture management to enable them become economically self-reliant and employers of labor. The center has 8 large-sized fish ponds, 2 hatcheries, water storage, staff quarters, offices, lecture halls and electricity supply. Following the change of baton at the Aso Villa and the swearing-in of Bola Tinubu as President of Nigeria on the 29th of May 2023, the boards of the federal government agencies were dissolved. Subsequently, a new board of the commission was appointed with Mr. Chiedu Ebie, a former secretary to the Delta State government, as chairman of the board, while Dr. Sam Obuku was retained as managing director. Their brief, together with other members of the new board, was to implement President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda in the Niger Delta. Unlike previous years when the relationship between the NDDC and the National Assembly was at best chaotic, 2023 saw an improved cordial relationship courtesy of Senate President Godswill Akpabio and House of Representatives Speaker Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas. The confirmation screening of the new Tinubu-nominated NDDC board members was more or less a formality, as only the chairman Chiedu Ebe and the MD Samuel Obuku were asked to present their vision for the region at both the House of Reps and Senate.
One of the things that we are going to ensure is teamwork. We're going to ensure that we work as a team. We're going to ensure that we have a very harmonious working relationship, and also ensure that people-oriented projects will be executed by the Commission.
I haven't been on the saddle for about 10 months now as MD CEO of NDDC. I believe it has given me the opportunity to understand the workings of NDDC. I believe we must have seen some of the loopholes, some of the mistakes by previous leaders, but I always tell myself that I was not appointed to look at the past, but my appointment was to correct the mistakes.
The new board was confirmed and subsequently inaugurated in November by the Honorable Minister for Niger Delta Affairs, Engineer Abubakar Momo.
With the inauguration of the board, it means that we have accepted to be part of the Renew Hope agenda of our President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And to that very extent, you need to be very much conversant with the 8 presidential priorities of Mr. President, ranging from food security, ending of poverty, inclusivity, job creation, anti-corruption stance, rule of law, and all. You have to be very much conversant with these 8 presidential priorities because they form the agenda that drives this very administration.
When in October 2019, former President Buhari ordered a probe of NDDC activities, the idea was not only to unearth acts of malfeasance in the system, but also to strengthen the commission to live up to expectations. So far, current managers of the NDDC have made spirited efforts to key into that vision and ensure the full implementation of President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda for Niger Deltans. As Niger Deltans look into the future with hope, the new managers of the NDDC are pledging that 2024 will be a year of new innovations and initiatives that will positively impact every community in the Niger Delta.
Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, making a difference. inside the Niger Delta.
Well, that's the size of our package on the program for today. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region, will be back same time, same station next week. Until then, you can follow us on our social media handles showing right now on your screen. And please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDNTV Nigeria for these stories and many more. Until next week, I am MAMODE AKUGHA thanking you for staying tuned. And do have a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year in advance. Bye for now.